I'm Anil Kumar, and in this video we will understand the very basic concepts about algebraic expressions and equations. When I say algebraic, it means what? Algebraic means that the variables are involved. So we have something with the variables. So if I have variables, variables are things which can have different values, right? So if I have variables, then we're talking about algebraic. So anything or any expression on an equation with variables means algebraic. If the variables are missing in our expressions or equations, in that case it is arithmetic and not algebraic. Now when we talk about expressions, so then what we are talking about is operations with variables and constants. Then we're talking about operations like sum and or product using these variables, right? So when I say sum, then minus is also a sum and division is kind of a product, right? Exponent is product of itself, right? So exponent is also included when I say sum or product, right? And when we talk about equations, for the time being I'll keep it separate. So when we talk about equations, we'll have algebraic expressions and we'll also have equal to sign. So if there is an equal to sign, then it becomes an equation. So to start with, these are critical things which we are going to deal with, right? So we can say in general that algebraic expressions consists of sum or product of numbers and variables. So in mathematics, numbers are common, right? So algebraic expression will have, let me write down here, expressions will have variables, numbers, and operations, which are plus, minus, multiply, divide, or exponent, correct? So these small combinations form an expression. Now how do you create an expression? To create an expression, we can have an open statement. For example, let us say we say a number, twice a number plus 1, or if I say one more than a number, one more than a number, right? If I'm saying one more than a number, it is kind of an open statement, right? So we'll call this as an open statement, or we can say it's a phrase, right? So one more than a number. That kind of situation represents algebraic expression. We could write this as, first we need to define a variable, and let us say variable for number is n, for example. In that case, we can say one more than a number means n plus 1. So n plus 1 means one more than a number, correct? So if I say twice a number, then it means 2 times n, right? If I say 3 less than square of a number, then what will it mean? Can you write that down? 3 less than square of a number. Square of a number is number multiplied by itself. So this could be written as n square minus 3. Remember, when we write 3 less than, so it is 3 less than. It comes afterwards, right? So these are a few examples which we have taken for algebraic expressions. Now these expressions can become equations if I use a complete sentence, right? So if I change my open statement to complete sentence, then it becomes an equation. For example, if I say twice a number is, let us say, we say, let me use a different statement. 3 times a number is 12, right? So in that case, what we are really saying, 3 times a number, that means 3 times a number is n, is means equal to 12. So what we get here is translates into equal to, what we get here is an equation. Do you get the point? So you can see that an expression will lack equal to sign plus kind of an open. 3 times a number could be any number, but when I say 3 times the number is 12, then we are talking about the number 4. 3 times 4 is 12. You get my point, right? So that is how we are saying it's kind of a closed statement, right? So we could have a statement like 1 less than a number is 5. It really means I'm writing 1 less than a number. Remember, whenever than comes, then 1 less will be afterwards. Than a number. Less than what? Less than a number. So n minus 1 is 5. In this case, whatever we write is written with an equation equal to sign. So this equal to sign really defines your equation. So equation will have equal to sign, it will have variables, it will have all the operators we've talked about. An algebraic expression will not have equal to sign, right? So that is the main distinction. Now what we can do with algebraic expression is that we can find the value of the expressions for different values of the variable, right? So that is what we are going to see in the next video. And for equations, what we can do, we can find solution for an equation. So in the case of equations, first part is to write an equation, and the second find is to find solution of equation. Now when we say solution of an equation, then we find the value of variables. That means find variable to make left side equal to right side. Now what is left and right side? This is equal to sign. So the side on the left of equal to side, we'll call this as left side, and the one on the right hand side is right side. So if we make left side equals to right side by checking with some number, for example in this case 6, if I write n as 6, 6 minus 1 is 5, so left side becomes equal to right side, and 6 becomes solution of this equation, correct? Now that is what, so when we talk about equations, we are talking about solutions. Now, solutions could be just one number, and at times we might get more solutions also. We will see them later, but most of the time we will have just one solution for an equation with one variable given like this. Okay, that is most of the time. Okay, there are times when you can have more than one solution also. For example, if I say square of the number is 1, in that case n could be equals to plus 1, and it could also be minus 1, correct? Square of 1 is also 1, square of minus 1 is also 1, correct? So we could get more than one solution at times, but most of the time we'll get one solution. In the case of expressions, we will use the term evaluate. So here we will say evaluate. So we'll say evaluate an expression. Now when we say evaluate an expression, at that time we'll give you some values. We'll say, well, you can use the values like 1, 2, 3, so on, and for different values evaluate your expression. That is to say, if my expression is, let us say I'm using this statement, 1 more than a number, so I could write all the numbers. What could be 1 more than 1? What could be 1 more than 2? What could be 1 more than 3? So I'll write n as 1, 1 plus 1 is 2. Then I'll write n as 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. So likewise, similarly here, I could put 1 here. So twice a number. So 2 times 1 will be 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3 is 6. So we'll get a set of numbers. So that is how we'll get more values, right? Here also we can evaluate the given expression for different numbers. So now what we understand from here is that algebraic means variables. So if I have, let us say, if I say 5 square. So 5 square is 25, but is it an algebraic expression? The answer is no. It is not an algebraic expression. Reason? There is no variable. Do you understand? But if I say 2x square, then that becomes an algebraic expression since it has a variable. So algebraic expression will have a variable, it will not have equal to sign. As far as the equations are concerned, same thing goes. It should have equal to sign along with the variable, right? So this is the basic understanding. Now from this video you can go to how to solve equations and how to evaluate expressions for different sets, right? So I will provide you with those links so that you get practice of understanding how to evaluate expressions and how to solve equations. I hope that will help. Thank you and all the best.